California Attorney General Rob Bonta, one of the state attorney generals suing the Trump administration. Well, it's great to have you. What was your reaction to that judge's ruling and the fact that the judge didn't say the USDA has to disperse the funds?
Well, we were gratified that not just one, but two different courts found in our favor. They reflected our arguments and our view of the facts and the law, and found that the government, the federal government, was unlawfully withholding billions of dollars of funding that is available and should be used to pay for food stamps for hungry Americans across the country. That was good. We are still awaiting more detail and specificity around how much of the funds will be sent to which states by when.
It's November. The leaves have changed, the weather's cooler, but the government is still shut down, and millions of Americans are still waiting for help. SNAP food benefits, the program that helps nearly 40 million people eat, have not been issued for November.
And of course, this is urgent. We have Californians and Americans who are facing immense harm and imminent harm, and they need their food tomorrow. So we are awaiting more details from the courts as to how much of the funds will be sent out, but we are gratified that there was a finding that the government was acting unlawfully and that the federal government must expeditiously send SNAP funding food stamps to the hungry in our country.
A federal judge ruled the Trump administration must release some funds, but as we've seen before, they'll likely appeal, delay, or simply ignore the courts.
Do you get the sense they're going to appeal?
It's up to them whether they're going to appeal or not, and they have frequently appealed, so it wouldn't be a surprise if they did, but it's up to them. There's certainly irreparable harm in the form of people starving. Health and lives are at stake. That supports our case that we need this funding sent out immediately, and this has nothing to do with the government shutdown. In fact, this contingency fund is supposed to be used in exigent emergency circumstances like a government shutdown. That's why it's a contingency fund, for the contingency of the normal operational funds not being available.
Meanwhile, food banks are breaking records, not for generosity, but for desperation. Families, veterans, and even government workers are now lining up for what Congress won't release. This isn't about politics anymore. It's about priorities. Because if we can move billions for foreign wars and tax breaks for billionaires overnight, but can't feed hungry children on time, then something is deeply broken. A judge shouldn't have to order compassion, but here we are, again, likely forced to sit back and watch justice get appealed while stomachs go empty.
Well, what do you make of Kevin Hassett's, the administration's argument that the fastest way to get these funds to the millions of people who rely on them, including more than 5 million people in your state of California, is for Democrats to vote with Republicans to reopen the government and then negotiate over their health care demands?
It shows that they are trying to weaponize this issue. They are trying to starve hungry Americans so that the Democrats sign on to something where the Republicans can then steal Americans' health care. And the fastest way for hungry Americans to eat is for the federal government to follow the law, do their job, and spend the $5 to $6 billion that are in the contingency fund that is sitting there. They are lying when they say, quote, the well has run dry. It is full of $5 to $6 billion worth of funding for food for hungry Americans. So they're playing games. They are treating our most vulnerable Americans like political pawns, our children, our seniors, our sick, our poor, our disabled, our veterans, and it's disgusting, dangerous, and damaging.
Food is not a privilege, it's a right. And a government that withholds food from its own citizens has lost the moral authority to call itself for the people. So if you can, support your local food bank. If you're in need, reach out, because help is still out there, even if it's not coming from where it should. This is Dale, reminding you that hunger should never be part of anyone's politics. Insight, unity, action.